The Trilogy Podcast with Vin and Scott, putting the buff back in film buff.
This is a Thanksgiving song. I hope you enjoy it. Love to eat turkey. Love to eat turkey. I love you.
Tril-Bit number 2, Thanksgiving films. How are you, Scott?
I'm very well. I'm ready for Thanksgiving.
You excited about Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. There are no Thanksgiving films. Like, really.
I mean, there's a
Like
couple.
none. I looked it up, and there are very few.
I was on my way home to spend a nice holiday with my family.
So instead of Thanksgiving with his family, he's spending 3 days with the turkey. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Even if it's a loose connection.
If I'm not seeing a family sitting down at a turkey dinner, then it's not a Thanksgiving film for me.
Well,
So-
they usually culminate in that. It's usually like, uh-oh, we can't get to Thanksgiving.
Calm down, Scott.
Okay.
What I did instead was, what happens during Thanksgiving, okay? Turkey. Are there many films about turkeys? Not many. Turkey Run.
Chicken Run.
Chicken Run.
Yeah, not
Why'd I
even
say
about
Turkey
turkeys.
Run?
I don't know.
See, it's not even a movie.
Nope, doesn't
What?
even exist.
Doesn't even
You're
exist.
trying to give turkeys credit.
Can you think
They
of
don't
one
deserve
movie
it.
that has to do with turkeys?
Turkeys.
You can't. There is one thing that goes along with Thanksgiving that there are plenty of films based on, and that is something I love tremendously: football.
Football.
There have been many films based on the game of football, and I wanted to throw some in your direction like a perfectly passed spiral. Have you either catch it
Oh, yeah.
or you know.
Because I feel like I'm probably missing some big football movies, so
Let's
this
see.
is good for me.
Just want to get your opinion on
I'm
the
not a
film.
big football guy. I'll just say that outright.
You're not. You don't like football?
I'm not. I played a little bit in high school until I didn't want to anymore.
Right.
I don't really follow a team. I guess I'm sort of a Jets.
I'm a
fan.
gigantic Denver Broncos fan. I bleed orange and blue, so I
Yeah.
love football. I love the sport.
That's why I feel like you'll probably know a lot of good movies that I've never seen before.
Also,
'Cause
I
don't have
looked
the
it up
interest.
this morning, so
Okay,
I definitely know a lot of football movies right
I'll
now.
probably remember one or two.
Okay,
but
here we go.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, number 1. Are you ready?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Remember the Titans, Scott. Do you
Ah.
remember them?
Yes,
What
I
do you
remember.
think of that one?
I remember seeing parts of Remember the Titans.
You've not seen the whole movie.
I feel like I have, but just not all together.
Very heavy-handed approach to racial harmony.
So
in a
Denzel
football
Washington.
setting. Denzel Washington, the star.
Denzel Washington's always great.
Always phenomenal. I would say he's the best American actor.
Who's your daddy?
Denzel.
Okay. So he's great in that
And
film.
you got a young Ryan Gosling as well.
Like his first film.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some minor stars in it. What I would say though is that it's since been completely debunked as a lie, the whole film from beginning to end. Basically
Really?
every single thing in it is not true. And the people that it's supposedly about are not happy about it. The way they're depicted, none of it. But it does have some good football scenes, and it can be inspiring in some places. Gotta love racial harmony in general.
Yeah.
Scott,
Yeah.
but you don't have much to say.
Well, no,
That's all.
the only thing I was thinking is that sounds like that other football movie
Say it.
where I was going to say Blindside
The one with
with Sandra Bullock, and she brings that big kid in and like teaches him football with bottles of ketchup and mustard and
it's
nonsense.
on my list, and now we find out later he knew about football already, and that
Yeah, I watched a whole like middle of the night interview with him where he was like, "Yeah, I knew how to play football.
Privilege.
The white lady didn't teach me how to play
Exactly.
football. I knew how to do that already."
all right. So that was on my list. So that's 2. All right.
Oh, there you go.
Next one. Okay. Rudy.
Oh, I knew that was.
Rudy. I got to tell you, it's my favorite football movie. Maybe my favorite sports movie. If there's not a movie called Rocky, it's probably my favorite sports
Yeah.
movie. Okay.
You like sports movies starting with an R, ending with a Y.
I guess I do. Named after a man.
Rudy, Rocky. That's it.
Randy.
Randy, Macho Man, Randy
The
Savage.
story of the Macho Man Randy Savage. Randy.
Randy
Poffo.
coming this fall.
Dig it.
Randy.
I love Rudy. I really do. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a sucker for it every time. Makes me get emotional every time. I get some tears in my eyes every time. It's a little ridiculous to think that one man on the sideline going, Rudy would make the whole stadium after about 1 minute be chanting it at full volume.
Right.
And my favorite part, as many, it's a nutty movie. There's a lot of funny moments in it, but remember, Ned Beatty plays the father. So the brother brings Ned Beatty to see his first Notre Dame game. And his son is going to be playing in the game.
Yeah.
This is to finally show his dad that he's playing in the game. And Ned Beatty walks out into the stadium and he looks into the stadium and he says, "These are the most beautiful thing my eyes have ever seen." And his other son gives him a look, like a side-eyed look, like, "All right, Dad, let's just find our seats." He's like, "Well, what about both our births, you asshole?"
Yeah.
Thanks, Ned Beatty.
Chill out, Ned Beatty.
You have sons that you watch be born, dickhead. But it's the perfect side-eye. He's like, "All right, Dad, come on." But when I saw my first Denver Broncos game, I made a point of saying the same thing. I walked out I saw the Broncos field mile high, and I was like, "These are the most beautiful thing these eyes have ever seen." And my brother was like, "What did you say?" "I don't even know what you're talking about." He said, "Let me have that beer." All right, so
This
Rudy.
was for me, not for you.
Next movie, Any Given Sunday.
Another movie I've only seen parts of.
That's Al Pacino as the coach.
Yeah.
Doing
I've seen his
thing.
big speech, like,
Yeah, it's
we gotta get the fuck out there!
like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
When we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing.
So it's okay, whatever. I mean, I haven't seen it since maybe
Isn't
it came
that
out.
Oliver Stone did that?
I think it is. So it has those wonk cuts. This and that. All right.
Yeah. Kind of a weird movie for Oliver Stone.
Ever see The Last Boy Scout?
Yes. I fucking love The Last Boy
Hyper
Scout.
action. It's a Joel Silver film, I believe.
Yeah,
violent,
over the
wild
top
action.
ridiculous action.
Bruce Willis,
And Damon Wayans.
Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
You
I
have
was a big
whole
Damon Wayans fan. Back
dynamic
in the day,
there,
too.
a black-white dynamic.
Yeah. Buddy cop. sorta.
Cop, very known for being very vulgar, very over the top.
Yeah.
He's cursing at his daughter.
Yeah. And they got all the bad action movie catchphrases they talk about
Yep.
the whole time.
You have the parable of the talking killer, the guy who explains the entire plot while Bruce Willis is
Yeah.
captured, and then he kills him.
Water's wet, the sky's blue, women have secrets. Who gives a fuck?
And the stand-up comedian Taylor Negron.
Taylor Negron, yeah.
And he has a pretty funny line in this movie. I think Bruce Willis says something like, "If you touch me again, I'm going to kill you." And the guy does, and Bruce Willis just kills him.
Yeah.
And Taylor Negron's like, "Can someone get rid of Jeff's corpse?" It just always struck me as funny.
Yeah.
All right, next movie. I don't want to belabor
Love
these
that
too long. Longest Yard, jailhouse football movie. And
So
then they made
there
a
are
remake.
two of them now.
There's the
yeah.
Burt Reynolds version and the remake with Adam Sandler. It's garbage. I think it's a terrible movie. I think Adam Sandler's whack in it. He's awful. The gay cheerleader, it's just played
There's
out.
also the British version of that. They did like basically it's The Longest Yard, but it's
football.
Yeah, them
Fo-
playing
football,
soccer.
football,
yeah.
soccer.
Right.
All right.
With like a ton of those guys who were in like Snatch and all those.
All right.
Yeah. Pretty good though.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Really?
I think it's called like the Mean Machine or something like that. I think it's called.
Doesn't really qualify though for what we're talking about, does it, Scott? Since
But
this
it's like
is-
a prison soccer
This is American.
football.
Yeah, it's American football, and that's what has to do with
Just
Thanksgiving.
throwing that
We're
tidbit
doing
of information
Thanksgiving,
in.
okay?
Just chiming in.
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues I have seen.
I do not want your life.
I don't want your life.
Mentioned in The Office. There's a funny thing when The Office is watching Varsity
Yeah.
Blues. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
So they watch like
All right.
20 minutes of Varsity Blues.
Yeah,
at a
exactly.
time.
Not bad. We Are Marshall.
That I've never seen.
Love a movie that begins with many people
Telling me
dying
who you
brutally in a. Well, that too, Scott. You could be critical about them telling us who they are, but the reason they're telling us is because the plane went down, killing everyone in the first 5 minutes of the movie. It's always funny when in a movie a loved one like sees a loved one that's like burning in a fire or an explosion, because there's this moment where they panic and run up and then realize it's hot and have to kind of run back. Oh, the flames are too much.
You're
I
like,
can't
"No,
run.
I can't.
I can't.
I
run.
would if only.
I've only
there
run
weren't
so
all
hard
these
I'd run
flames."
directly into
Yeah.
these flames. But fire.
No, I really care about them. I really want to go in there, but fire. You know how it is.
You know how that is. My
that
inclination is to
goes.
burn myself. I don't want to get burned.
Yikes, that is hot.
Waterboy.
Waterboy. I like Waterboy.
I don't like Waterboy. I think it's a terrible Adam Sandler film, but what I like about it is the fact that
Water sucks.
Bobby? Water sucks.
Gatorade is better.
Henry Winkler in that film is wearing a hat that I own. And what's interesting is that blue hat with the red band that he wears through the whole film. I actually owned it before Waterboy came out. I had it for like 2 years. So
that's pretty hilarious.
That's something. It's almost worth it.
They stole it from you.
Don't even start. The next one, The Replacements. The Replacement. That has to do with the replacement team.
Keanu Reeves
and Gene Hackman.
Yes,
as the coach.
And they get the one soccer player. Yeah.
No. That's in the other movie that involves a replacement team, which is Necessary Roughness, which is a pure comedy, and that's the one.
I think it's in the other one. They get the British guy. He's just a kicker.
Oh no, you're right.
He's
well, they do
kicker,
it in Necessary
right?
Roughness too, because they get a girl soccer player, Kathy Ireland, to kick for them.
Necessary Roughness, I've seen.
Necessary Roughness is a pure comedy.
Yeah,
and that's it's the same idea. They're a replacement
team.
Sinbad. Yeah. Scott Bakula is the quarterback.
Yep. Yeah, I like Necessary Roughness. I remember seeing it in theaters when it came out for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. But I liked it. I liked Scott Bakula because we used to watch Quantum Leap.
Always hoping that the next leap
is the leap home.
Be the leap home. I like a tear comes to my eye just when I hear that. The way her voice quivers, she goes, "Be the leap home."
Leap
home. And then when that series ended with just the caption at the bottom, "He never got home." Like, if you know anything about it,
nope, never went home.
It was like a hastily sort of. It never got a proper like finale or whatever.
The creator, he recently put out. He was like, I have an ending written.
Really?
Like that? Yeah, we could do like a movie.
He was still out there looking youngish, right?
You could do a one-off movie or something.
Didn't he do a Star Trek? Wasn't he a Star Trek guy?
He was in Enterprise years ago. That didn't really work out. It went one season and got canceled.
Oh boy.
So those are football. That's my list of football movies.
Yeah,
of all those, I would say
ones.
I'm loving Rudy. I like Remember the Titans, like Necessary Roughness. The rest are kind of blah for me.
Yeah.
All right, so look, this was our Tril-Bit. This was a list of football movies. Want to get Scott's impression?
Football.
And basically what we've learned is that Scott's seen very few football movies.
Yeah, more baseball movies. We want
That's
to talk
not
about that.
It has nothing to do with Thanksgiving, though.
Well, we'll see you in the springtime,
I guess so, Scott. We dedicate just Tril-Bit after Tril-Bit to holidays and sports, but I'm not going to do that. This will be the last time we talk about a sport. How does that sound?
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I mean, if it's relevant, it's relevant. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? Goodbye.
Oh,
goodbye.
Oh, all right.
I love turkey on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.